Evening all. Hello all you friars and welcome to the stream. Just saying hello to some people in the chat. See we've got a few of the regular friars in, so really great to see you. Nice to see you, Exy Music, Francis Chambers, Barbara, who I know isn't actually Barbara, it's your wife's account, so I don't know your actual name, Barbara. Good evening to Peter Collins. Missed you as you were coming in. Just seen you. Nice to see you. And Mike Burton Phillipson. And we've got Jim in the house this evening. Very nice. You're very welcome, Jim. Nice to see you, my friend. Chris Hutchins as well. Hello to Chris. The Guitar Professionals. Nice to see you as well. Hey, Bud. Nice to see you too. And Anton, one of the greatest guitar community mods around. Lovely to see you too. Craig, I don't think we've met before, but you are more than welcome, my friend. Eddie Nothing, nice to see you too. Dave B, first time here. Well, hopefully not the last time. Nice to see you, Dave. Hey there, Dave Fiendish. Hey there, Scott S. Ferguson. Howdy. Scott says, I finally made a live one. Nice one, mate. And Rob from Mini Guitar Society YouTube channel in the house. Just watched your video, Rob. Really good stuff, as always. And Andrew Miller says, hello from Ibiza, Joe. Hope you're feeling well. Well, we'll get to that. We'll get to that in a minute, mate. But thanks, thanks from Ibiza. Probably much nicer. In fact, 100%, I would guarantee it's much nicer there than it has been here, because it's been absolutely miserable, weather-wise, and in some other ways as well. Evening, Paul. I think that's everyone so far. So welcome, friars, old and new, and possibly quite a few new people, mainly due to the magical effect of the charisma and charm and unique sort of appeal of Paul Richards from Milehouse Studios, who kindly made a video with me that went out on my channel on Tuesday. So that was brilliant of him to do, and thanks again, Paul, for that. And it was as much fun as it looked, if not more. And it's really, I actually did put a post on my personal Facebook this week, because so I had some very minor middle-aged person surgery last weekend, just a day case, nothing serious, but it's unpleasant and it's not been easy. It's been a rough week. What with when you have a general anaesthetic, then it kind of knocks you out, then you've got to take antibiotics, and that's unpleasant as well, and kind of pain on top of that sort of stuff. So it's not been a great week, I won't lie. But watching that video again, watching it back on Tuesday night in the premiere with all of you guys, all you friars who came along, it really did give me just a massive lift. It really just made me howl with laughter all over again. Even though I was there, and even though I've seen the footage, like, I don't know how many times, but it really did make me chuckle again, and it was great to watch it with all of you. So, yeah, thank you for that, because I needed that this week, definitely. And of course, there's been lots and lots of comments, and those are some of the things that we're going to be talking about on tonight's stream. I put a pinned comment under the video asking people how how they sort of feel about doing, you know, little bits and pieces of work on their own guitars. I know a lot of you are very good at this stuff and you're really into it. I know that some of you are even guitar techs. Pink Mouse, I see you're in. Hello to you. And yeah, so I know some of you are pretty confident at this stuff, but you know, some of the other people who I haven't met yet and new subscribers, I wasn't sure how many of the other people who might have seen the video would feel about it. So I've had some really, really good replies, and I thought it'd be quite fun and worth going through some of those with you, because again, some of them did give me a bit of a chuckle on a much needed time. You know, I really did need that this week. So, you know, I'm sorry for all of your mishaps and misfortunes, but it does seem that people, you know, have learnt from those things, as we all have, and you know, subsequently recovered from them and stuff. But some of them just made me laugh more than they should have, I think. So yeah, there's a scale, isn't there? I mean, Exy, our friend Exy here, says that they never set up their own guitars. They've got a really, really good tech. And if you've got that relationship, and if you do have someone locally who you really trust and who you know will do an excellent job, then you don't need to know any of this stuff, then it's fine. It's well worth having that relationship. It's well worth investing in it, and it's worth the money. Like, it's just one of those things that it's worth the money, you know? So I think there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. There's no shame in that. And indeed, that was my own position for most of my life and my playing journey. You know, as a guitarist, I explored kind of building my own guitar when I was very young, very, very much younger, when I was at school. And that was an amazing experience. But somehow, in my mind, it didn't connect with doing guitar setups per se. That, in my mind, was always something that you took it into the shop. You take it into your local guitar shop to do, because the guys in there know what they're doing, broadly, by and large anyway, but we'll get to that. So not always. But yeah, there is a wide range, let's say, of experiences out there, and we're gonna have a look at some of those. So let's just see who else has come in and who I need to say hello to. Excellent, Pink Mouse is in and made a big mug of Yorkshire tea, I imagine is what that is. I'm actually drinking Red Bush tea, which isn't that nice. It's not really very nice. It's certainly not as nice as Yorkshire tea, but I'm just trying to look after myself. I've been off the caffeine a little bit. That's a bit of a struggle. I think that might have been my first mistake, actually. But yeah, this Red Bush stuff is not as nice, shall we say? Yes. Oh, thank you. Lots of people saying how much they enjoyed the Milehouse video. I'm really, really, really pleased, because yeah, it was just so much fun. Good evening, Maria Muggs Davies. Lovely to see you as always. Budget Pedal Chap, Budge. Nice to see you, Budge. I'm sorry, I still keep getting you and Johnny confused. I know I did it again the other day. What is wrong with me? Seriously. Rob has asked, is Paul as relaxed in person as he is on camera? Paul is Paul. Paul is what you see. Like, there is no difference. That's what he is like. It doesn't, he doesn't kind of switch it on and off. That's just him. So, I'd imagine that, you know, the many people who he used to, you know, in his previous life sort of fit their kitchens, you know, I would imagine they would have some pretty wacky stories about the guy who fitted their kitchen. He is just he's like that. And we love him. We love him for it and wouldn't have it any other way. Absolutely. And I think there is an element of, obviously everyone is slightly different when they're with different people, and you're different on your own, you know, on camera slightly than you are with somebody else, because obviously you're bouncing off the other person's energy. And like, I'm not even 100% sure that I buy into the concept of introverts and extroverts, but as everyone sort of knows broadly what those things mean, I think we would probably label both myself and Paul extroverts. So when you've got two of those kinds of people in a room, it does create like a little bit more of a hyper sort of energy. And there was definitely sort of some of that, and more so than I have when I'm filming videos by myself. Absolutely. But I think he's kind of got that energy just on his own. I think he creates enough of it for like more than one person should have anyway. But yeah, no, it was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Lammy, hey, hiya Lammy, nice to see you, and nice to see Steve. Hello Steve Cassidy. Thank you for coming along. And Brian as well. Hey Brian, good question. New guitar box. So, not going to give too much away, but yes, it is in fact another, I have taken another delivery from not my stalker, a very, very valued and cherished viewer of the channel, Mr. Dave Lewis again. So Friday morning, something turned up. Now I've got to work out what to do with it. So that's going to be a little bit of a challenge. Well, I kind of already know what I'm going to... I've already got a vague idea. I'm not going to give anything away though. I'm going to, keep that one on the quiet for now, because I'm not entirely sure when I'm going to be able to do it. But there will be another mystery donated guitar, with which I shall make a video for my channel. So that is really, really, really lovely. I have a plan for it. It probably won't be... I've got a video coming out on Tuesday, something kind of in mind for the following week. So it might be kind of a couple of weeks away. But yes, well spotted, Brian. That is indeed a guitar box. What else did I have on my list of things I was going to talk about? Yeah, so it's all about the comments today. It's all about your stories and things that have perhaps not gone so well for you in terms of doing your own guitar setups. Let me just check and see in case anyone else has come in whilst I've been wittering on. We've got Linda Phillipson. Hi Linda. Is that a photo with a doggy? Have you got a doggy there? We always love a photo with a doggy. Fantastic. Nice to see you. Haven't seen you before. Jim says, I'm okay on setting up my guitars, but if I'm getting ready to record in the studio, I know a guy who's far better than I am. It's good to practice on your own though. Yeah, absolutely. And I'd imagine if you're recording, you kind of want to, you really want to nail it. You want to make sure that it's going to hold tune and everything like that. So best to get the pros in for sure. Hi Chris, happy February to you as well. Pink Mouse has got the tea and hobnobs. Oh, thank you, I can start now. Brilliant. And oh yeah, before I forget, thank you so much for this little pedal. I'm holding it upside down. So yeah, Friday was a bit mad. I had a mystery guitar delivery, and then this little beastie turned up as well. So I don't know if you can see, it says Mockman. It's kind of like it's a homemade Rockman overdrive pedal. So we are going to be having a look at that on the channel at some point as well. My God, I've got like 2 or 3 ideas for videos and I'm starting to like feel like I'm drowning. Because this is not the normal way that my channel works, really. I literally usually do it week by week. I spend a couple of days thinking of an idea, and then I have one day in which to film it and edit it and do all the upload stuff. So yeah, it's kind of weird for me to have like things in advance that I'm planning on doing. Like, means I have to try and get myself organised, which isn't what I'm brilliant at. But anyway, all these things will be coming up. Linda says that you love tinkering with your guitar setup, which is excellent. And I do think that, you know, we should all have it, you know, a vague idea, a basic idea, I should say, of what needs to be done, even if you're not going to actually do it yourself. I think it's good to know what the basics are and what you are paying for when you pay somebody else to do it. Just so that you don't get ripped off, and there are indeed some stories about that in the comments that we're going to look at. DT, greetings from Canada. Hi there to you. And thanks for coming. I don't think we've seen you before either, so lovely to see you. And Andrew Miller says, I'm itching for a family pasty. Oh, pasty, obviously. I'm itching for a family pasty from Dartmouth. Yeah, pasties are awesome. The pasties that we got when I was down in Plymouth with Paul were top notch. A nice steak pasty I had. Really nice. I went all West Country then. I had a really nice steak pasty. I don't even speak like that. But see, that's how good that pasty actually was. Anton says, try Lapsang Souchong tea. Smells and tastes like burnt wood. Lovely stuff. I'll take your word for it, Anton. I have to say, it doesn't sound all that appealing to me. I'm sure it's great. I'm sure it's fine. Budge says, I always do my own setups. Are they good? Probably not. They always feel a bit closer to what I want than when they come in stock, so I'm happy. Well, this is it, right? Like, I thought that my setup that I'd done on my video was okay. It was okay for me. Like, action just under 2mm. I'm happy. I'm happy with that. I'm comfortable with that. But apparently that was a complete hash, according to Paul. Like, he's got to get it. You know what he's like. You know, it's got to be a Nat's cod piece or something. So it wasn't good enough. But anyway, it's brilliant now. It's amazing and too low for me to play. I'm a 640. I'm just glad you managed to get out of his cellar in one piece. I tell you what, the the real dodgy thing about that cellar, I've probably said it before, is the stairs, is the shonky, like, homemade, like, steps that you have to go up and down backwards. Like, health and safety, non-existent. That's the only time that he's ever, like, serious, is telling you about how you have to go up and down these steps. It's that, like, I think he's just, you know, very concerned that one day someone's gonna, you know, come a cropper on them, but they're fine. But yeah, he does seem slightly more concerned about that. Yeah, so I'm glad that I didn't manage to do myself any injuries. But yeah, it was a very, very funny day and absolutely brilliant. But yes, oh, hi Graham. Graham Campbell's just come in, or may have come in a little while ago, but it's nice to see you. I'm trying to keep up with the comments. Hugh Coldwell guitar. Hi Joe, I'm a guitar tech. You learn things every day working on guitars. A good setup is everything. Spot on, it is, absolutely. And you know, we all watch Paul's channel week in, week out. We see these kind of rubbish, you know, budget guitars that are nothing special or even absolute rubbish. And at the end of the day, you can make them play really well. And it's all in the setup. And as he says, it's all a numbers game, you know. If you know a bit about what you're doing, any guitar can be a good guitar. So that is 100% true, and I believe that completely. Jimmy Biter. Hey Jimmy, nice to see you. Paul Woodrow says, I'm happy to have a go at setting up a cheaper guitar, but I'm terrified of buggering up any more expensive ones. I have a Fender Telecaster that needs a new nut. Definitely going to a tech. Yeah, I mean, that's totally fair enough as well, right? If you've spent a lot of money on something and then you do something to it that can't be fixed, at the end of the day, you know, you will really regret that. So I guess it's all about your risk appetite, risk tolerance. I'm not going to go into that because that is going into the territory of my day job, which is one of the most boring things I can think of. So I'm not gonna bore any of you with that, and I've still got another week off, so we're not thinking about work at the moment. Anyway, I keep saying I'm going to show you these comments, and I haven't done it yet. So let's see if I can find some and share them with you. So am I actually sharing that? Can everyone see that? Hopefully. Right. So we had quite a few responses to this, and Lammy said that his first attempt at soldering was a right shit show, but I learned, and for less than the price of one of those shitty solderless kits. So worth giving it a go, even if you mess it up. You will learn something just by doing it. And I suppose if you're doing it on like a budget guitar or something, that's probably a better place to start than your, custom shop US Fender Strat. But I loved this one. So George, I can't read what his name says. George Alty says, I've definitely been a bit too aggressive on my acoustic fretboard roll. I now have a C-shaped neck with a V-shaped fretboard. That really tickled me for some reason. Yeah, I'm sure it still manages to play okay. Adjusting the so this is from Kevin McMullen. Adjusting the unbeknownst to me seized truss rod on my Squire Jaguar to dial out the excessive relief. This is the bit that got me. There's no worse feeling than that split second where righty-tighty becomes righty-loosey. I was like, oh no, that's horrible. But just the way he put it was just really funny. An eBay neck from China was the solution, and now it plays better than it ever did with the original, leading me to believe that the truss rod had seized a long time ago. Yeah, this is something that no one really sort of talks about very much, I guess. It's not something you hear about a lot, I guess. But yeah, it can happen. It can happen. And so, you know, as much as I've been encouraged to, you know, give it some welly with the truss rod, don't be afraid, you know, just go for it. And, you know, oh, you can't break it. You can't break it. Sometimes you can. So it's not that, you know, it's not that, oh, you can never do any damage. You can. If it is seized, you can. And it's not easy to, you know, you wouldn't necessarily know that. So yeah, I don't know how you would know that, actually. Maybe one of the guitar techs can tell us how you might have known that. I don't know. But yeah, it doesn't seem obvious. Malachi, who is quite often around on the channel, I don't know if I've not seen him come in tonight, but he says he rebuilt his 90s Jackson Grover Super Strat with the single slanted humbucker in the bridge position, and when installing the new pots, he ran across a grounding issue and couldn't figure out what the F was causing it to buzz. So he reached out to Johnny 3-Bar and he built him a Magic Bean treble bleed circuit, and it somehow fixed the issue. So that's brilliant. Like, I thought that was really, really nice. And yeah, I've heard him kind of talk about that before. I'm not sure how it would have actually resolved whatever the buzzing issue was, but obviously it did. So that was a good story. Lifespan of a Fry says, I opened up my Esquire last night because the push-pull tone isn't working properly. First project guitars and rat's nest. I'll get to it. Subscribed. Yeah, I mean, sometimes you have no way of knowing until you get in there, like what is going on. So you don't know what horrors lurk under a scratch plate sometimes. But you know, if you feel up to giving it a go and trying to sort it out yourself, then why not? You know, I think with wiring stuff, most of the time you can, usually anyway, with most guitars you can get replacement stuff at the end of the day if you do anything too badly wrong with it. You know, you should be able to replace it. I mean, it might cost you, but again, it's working out what's that sort of cost benefit analysis, I guess. Kel5944 says, I bought a telly with a slightly loose string tree. The screw was about to twist in half because the original string tree screw had broken, and the person who fixed it screwed the new string tree into the previously broken screw from a different angle. What? Why? I went to tighten the string tree and popped it right in half. That particular string tree isn't necessary, but it's a freaking eyesore on a guitar that plays really well. I haven't fixed it yet. I think, look, roller string trees, I'm just going to say, like, roller string tree, they're the way to go. Just whatever your crappy string trees are, just get them off. Roller string trees. It's the way forward. So, yes, I had a reply from a guy called Robert Ashton, who said, oh, you've opened a bloody can of worms now, haven't you? going to the archives now. He said, so yeah, attempted to repair the floating bridge stroke saddle on my 53 ES 135. Friend even custom ordered one made and shipped to me for Christmas. It was a beauteous piece of mahogany shit. Finally solved by an expensive visit to Elderly Instruments, Lansing, is that Miami? Thanks, folks. Yeah, that didn't end well. Well, you know, kind of, but didn't end the way I thought it was going to. I thought it was going to be kind of a funny story, not a, had to fork out to salvage it sort of situation. But yeah, bit of a shame, but these things happen, don't they? Rex Horning said, my brother had a beat up old guitar that the body was beat up with giant cracks at the tailpiece. I glued it back together and used auto body filler for the chunks missing and put a fair paint job on it. It played halfway good. 40 years later, realised it didn't have a bridge. Installed bridge and reset neck New Year's Eve of this year. Now its intonation problem is fixed and now you can use the whole neck, not just half. Took 40 years to figure it out. Slow learner, but I'm still learning. In my mid-50s and learning to play guitar, I've made a lot of progress in the last month. I thought that was a brilliant story. I thought, just shows you, it's never too late. We're all learning. We're always learning all the time. So with any of this stuff, whether it's learning guitar or learning to kind of work on guitars, why not try, you know? It's never too late. And it's good if you can play the whole neck, not just half the neck. Mind you, I probably only need about half the neck, really. Like, don't play much up the rest of the neck. So, yeah. I mean, I guess there's the Sweet Child of Mine intro. I'd be lying if I said I didn't play that most of the time when I pick up a guitar. But, all right, there's the odd exception. Matt Hayward says, biggest mistake was not believing in myself. I couldn't get the action right. Took it to a guitar shop. Bloke twisted a screw on the bridge a quarter of a turn. It played like butter. And he said, I should be charging you $90 for that. So get out of here before I change my mind. Which is nice, you know. That's nice of the person, the tech in the shop, because yeah, they could have said, well, I've set that action for you. Here's the fee, you know, cough up. But they didn't. And a good tech wouldn't. I think, you know, if you're playing the longer game, which you always should be, you would see that it's much more worthwhile building relationships. So if you show that you're someone who knows what they're doing and is trustworthy and not going to rip you off, obviously then Matt would probably go back in the future with any other issues and take it to that tech again, and eventually they'll get their $90, you know. So it just kind of makes good sense, really, not to just sort of rip people off. But that's not the way that everyone looks at these things. And Nella, hey Nella, if you've come in, I'm not sure if you have, but thank you for your comment. Nella says, I got too aggressive tapping down a high fret on a brand new West Creek Racer and bent the fret. Now I have to replace the fret. So, you know, that's going to be a lot more work, obviously, than just tapping it down. So I said, I've got my fingers crossed for you, Nella, and I hope it works out. And I hope it doesn't lead to a whole, like, fret leveling, recrowning job. I hope it is just that one fret for you. Chuck Bob says, nice question. I haven't made a guitar, I've assembled one kit. It's a huge hollow body Gretsch style arch top, but the kit was outfitted for a Gibson style fixed post bridge. I wanted a floating bridge like on a Gretsch, but I was a moron and I didn't think about how the neck angle was going to need to change. So I'd glued the neck in by the time I figured it out. Bought a half dozen floating bridges until I found the one with the lowest profile to begin with. And then I taped a piece of sandpaper upside down to the body of the guitar and sanded the base of the bridge down until I had the action playable. It's a tiny bit high for me, but I just deal with it. But there you go, like, that's someone who's like found a working solution, like fair enough, to a problem that they created, but still, it's using your own initiative, it's using your ingenuity to find a workaround and something that works, kind of. And I think there's definitely something commendable in that, for sure. By the way, any of the techs watching, you Pink Mouse, any of you out there, any of the pros, if there are any of these comments that you've spotted and you can help any of these people out, please do reply to them. Because what I really like is, obviously, in this community, for everyone to be able to feel like they can share their stories, they can share their issues, and people who are maybe more experienced and more knowledgeable can actually sort of give them some clues, some answers, some tips, some help. You're all really brilliant at doing that for me, and I really appreciate it. And I always get a lot of that kind of feedback when I do these types of videos. I really appreciate that. It's absolutely lovely of you. But yeah, if you see anyone struggling in the comments with any of these things, I'd love it if you could like reply to them as well, and sort of share the benefits of your wisdom. That would be fantastic. And I'll just share this last one, which did, make me chuckle a little bit. I'm sorry, I'm not sure how to pronounce the name. Cowlen says, got a file block and file down the edges of my frets a little too far. Now the strings sometimes fall off the fret when I fret the E's. I'm just living with it though. It's just so like, oh well. Nah. Like, I've had guitars that have come like that, to be absolutely honest. I've actually had guitars that have been like that anyway. So, the fact that you did it, at least that explains why it's like that. But yeah, seriously, I've had guitars that have just... I had an Epiphone. It was like a sort of Les Paul custom type thing. And yeah, I constantly had that issue. So yeah, sometimes they're just like that. Anyway, back to your comments in the live chat. Chris CD Nelson says, disasters, huh? Let's see. For the Les Paul Junior, I bought the wrong size bridge, drilled through the headstock installing new tuners, sucked at soldering, but did get it worked out in the end. And goes on to say, I'm somewhat proud that my routing for the pickup cavity was good though. Yeah, you see, there you go. Like, we can't all be good at everything when we're not. If this isn't our profession, we're not professionals, we're hobbyists and we do what we can at home. So some people might be pretty good with wiring, some people might be pretty good with the woodwork aspects and things. You can't expect to be brilliant at everything, and the fact that you're just giving it a go, I think is great, and you will learn from it, definitely. But yeah, I think it's just awesome that you even tried that, Chris. Adrian Cummings says, hi Joe, have you tried the Boss Katana Go? It's awesome. No, I have not, but I'm sure it is awesome because I'm pretty sure that everything that Boss does is pretty awesome. I love my Katana Mark II amp. So yeah, I'm sure the Katana Go is awesome as well. Oh, excellent. I see Pink Mouse in the comments doing exactly what I was just talking about and giving out some words of wisdom here. So yeah, saying to Paul, if you're careful getting the old nut out, you won't do anything that causes irreparable harm. Right, I mean, sometimes they're not even glued on. So one time when I think it was the first time that I came to do my own sort of setup on my PRS Tremonti SE, like it was the first time that I like tried to sort of change, you know, do a string change and do a setup on it myself. The nut came off. It just fell off. Like, it didn't appear to have ever been glued on. Like, it was just kind of being held in place by the strings. So, yeah, that was a bit of a shocker. I took it in, actually, and got the nut replaced because it was crappy anyway. And I asked for a synthetic bone nut to be put on. And then I carried on and did the rest of the setup myself. And actually the guys, well, the shop that I took it into, Life Guitars, not there anymore. It was the shop that had been in the old Manson's shop in Exeter. And the techs in there were really good, you know. So it's a shame that they're not there anymore. But yeah, they just they gave me a new nut, they put it on for me, and they didn't charge me anything. So they just helped me out because they were nice. And it's a great shame that they're not there anymore. Anton, what's Anton saying? So you're saying Paul may be a great luthier, but his carpentry skills are questionable. Re his cellar stairs. I'm sure everything else he's ever done and ever made is perfect and brilliant and wonderful, but those stairs are dodgy AF. I am not gonna lie. So yes, but yeah, thanks Pink Mouse for advising about the nut. And yeah, most of the time you can get them off reasonably easily, but I sort of feel like they shouldn't just fall off when you take the strings off. Hi John. John says, worst thing was a guitar I bought that had a floating tremolo. The previous owner had the bridge mounted about a quarter above the guitar. What, a quarter of an inch? Or yeah, I guess so. I had to do a complete setup on it. Everything was out of order. You're out of order. You're bang out of order. Yeah, exactly. Like, floating trems, pretty tricky. I find them tricky. They're not my favourite. Oh, hi! Hey, Dave! Nice to see you! Hey, Dave. Thanks again for mystery guitar number 2. No spoilers, but thank you very, 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 very much. I will do my absolute best to make a good video out of it. XE Music says, no other guitar sounds like a telly though. Oh, I've clearly missed something. Some wood, bridge, neck variations create completely unique sounds. Yeah, I mean that's a whole other can of worms. We're gonna park those worms over there for now. That's a whole other topic. But I mean, I guess it comes into setups because obviously setups affect sound, and there are particular features of a guitar that you have to set up correctly to get them to sound and play how you want to get the sound you want, right? So, you know, it is important. Did I see Alan down in Fritzl's? Alan! No, Maria, I didn't actually. And I think there is a real Alan. I think it's one of Paul's neighbours, or, you know, someone in the vicinity of where his workshop is. I think there is a particularly sort of yappy, annoying dog around there somewhere. I don't think that it's the actual Alan. And I know, I'm sorry, I didn't put in the Alan clip. I forgot to get it from Paul. One of the many, many things that I forgot to do in my video. So, my bad. I am sorry that I didn't put that in, which I think Paul was actually a little bit annoyed. But I didn't, you know, I just was in such a hurry to get it out because I thought, oh, it's so good, it's so funny. And yeah, in my hurry to get it posted, I forgot to do that. Yeah, my bad. That's on me. John again says, learning to do a complete setup and restoration of guitars was great. Learned how guitars work and learned how to maximise a guitar's potential. Absolutely. Yeah, if there are, you know, if there are opportunities to do sort of courses or any sort of formal training, if I knew of any, I would definitely like jump on that, because I think that's actually how Paul started out. I'm pretty sure he said that he did a course with Crimson Guitars, where you make a guitar, and I think that was the start of things for him. So yeah, but even if you didn't, you know, go fully down that route, I don't know, there must be online courses, I guess, that you could maybe do. I might check that out. That might be a good video idea. Gonna note to self. I haven't got a pen. Tech courses. And I'm going to look at that and go, what was that about? But yes, oh, that's a good point, actually. Matt, thank you, says, I've been using ChatGPT to give me setup specs for all my guitars. They turn out sounding nice and really good to play, actually. Well, yeah, this is it. Like, we live in a world now, we live in an age and a time now. What a time to be alive. 2026, the year of our Lord, where we can just go to, you know, Google Gemini, ChatGPT, any of these things, and they will give you the numbers, and it's a numbers game. So definitely take advantage of that. Good idea. Thanks for that. That's not something that I would have thought of. And now I feel kind of a bit stupid that I wouldn't have thought of that. But yeah, like, why not? We ask it every day. We ask it things about our health. I do, anyway. Like, I think that's kind of the thing that I've either Googled the most or used ChatGPT for probably the most, is anything that's ever wrong with me, or the children or anything, you know, that's just reflex now. That's instinct. That is, you know, straight onto Google, straight onto the phone. You know, what is it if you've got this, this and this? Like, am I gonna die soon? Like, can you tell me, please? So, you know, we do that all the time. So, yeah, why not? Why not ask it how to set up a guitar, right? Brian says, hey, budget pedal chap, missed your comment, had to run to the door. Oh, right, again, another conversation that I've missed. But hope you guys managed to catch up on that. But yeah, it's definitely a better idea than asking ChatGPT. Definitely better idea than trying to guess, or like the worst thing is like trying to look it up. Like trying to look up factory settings and specs and stuff. It's actually a real pain. I found it really difficult actually to find some of the specs for that Harley Benton, the HB35 Plus, like just what the fretboard was made from. I don't think I've actually been able to find that out for sure. So yeah, sometimes these things can be a little bit sketchy when you're trying to look them up. Chris Hutchins says, I recently discovered the last tech years ago that did my American telly rounded off the hex nut at the end of the truss rod, making it not adjustable. What? Why would you do? What is wrong with people? Seriously? Like, no, that is not a thing. Yeah. Oh no, that's following up on something else. Sorry, but yeah, no. I would have been pretty furious, and they would have. I'd have gone full Karen on that. Like they would have got the full Karen experience if that had happened to me. How annoying. I really hope they compensated you or something, because that is not right. We do not like that. Graham Campbell says, the fiddliest setup thing I did was remove the piezo pickup and controls from a J45, then fit a sound hole pickup. Not easy with chunk arms and sausage fingers. Yeah, like some of these things are really, really fiddly. And in the Milehouse video, just trying to, because the jack socket was a little bit loose, and so kind of just trying to tighten that up, but without kind of, wrecking things inside the guitar. I had to kind of like get his. I'm not gonna say it because it just sounds rude, but putting his fingers through the F hole. I can't help it. I'm sorry. That's what you had to do. Yeah, these things they can be really, really fiddly, and I don't have that good fine motor skills always. So yeah, that can be a challenge as well. Sorry, just trying to catch up on the comments. Maria Muggs Davies says, I thoroughly enjoy the way Milehouse sets up the guitar. Step by step, he explains everything with humour, which makes his show a pleasure to watch. It does indeed, because it could be very, very dry. And there are guitar channels on YouTube that will give you kind of the same or similar information, and that I am actually a fan of, but it's not delivered in as much of an entertaining way, shall we say. So, like, I love Dylan Talks Tone. That's an excellent channel. And the guy is just incredibly knowledgeable, right? Dylan Talks Tone is one of my favourite channels. It's a go-to to look stuff up as well. You're going to get quality information. You're going to get the right information from Dylan Talks Tone. But and he's very easy, he's very easy to listen to, and he does kind of speak in a straightforward way. It's very easy to understand. But it's not what you'd call fun. Like, it's quite nerdy, I suppose. But we like that. Like, I like 5 Watt World, you know? That's a brilliant channel. Again, really informative. He is just a mine of information and delivers it in a really thoughtful way. But he's not a laugh a minute, you know? So it just depends, doesn't it? It depends what you want, really. But I always think it's nice if you can be a little bit entertained as well. And, you know, I try to make my videos a little bit entertaining at least. Dooney Boy, who is actually my cousin. Hey there. Tip: don't use Nitromores to change your paint job. I learned the hard way on a JD Supernatural. I apologise to John Diggins. Noted. We will definitely take that on board. Oh, so Pink Mouse says Nitro. I assume Nitromores wouldn't even touch Polly. Okay, this is getting beyond my pay grade. These things are far too technical. But yes, I'm sure, like, cuz listen to Pink Mouse, he knows his stuff. Even though he claims that he's completely crap at guitar even after 40 odd years, which I'm sure is not true. I'm sure that's not true. I've spoken about this before. We're always better than we think. We always think we're rubbish. So I'm sure that you're not at all. What's that? Kevin says, be careful what you say about Paul. He has OCD issues. Does he? I don't know. Special wave though. Special wave. And actually we are coming up to special wave time, actually, because I am going to go and get some more rest, because I have not been feeling too great. But to answer your question, Kevin, did I learn something from Paul? I learned where you can get a really, really nice steak pasty, and I'm sure, no doubt, I will be back again. But yes, I do try to learn. I try to learn all the time. I try to take on board what he says, although I mostly can't concentrate because I'm barely keeping it together and trying to make a video, which isn't always easy. But I do try to take all the tips and advice on board, and I do try to take in all the feedback and everything that you guys tell me as well. So, you know, trying to improve bit by bit, trying to get better all the time, hoping that it will also be useful to someone else in the community, and that we can all kind of keep sharing our tips and ideas and improving, sharing the learning, sharing our experiences, because that's what it's all about. So thanks very much to everyone for joining me this evening. There is a video coming out on Tuesday, which, you know, I may or may not have still been under the influence of general anaesthetic, so it's a little bit of the you know, ramblings of of someone who hasn't quite recovered from having some surgery. But there we go. We'll see what you make of it. But I'm also planning, when I'm feeling slightly better, you know, obviously I've got the mystery guitar video to do, and also going to actually sit down with Matt and try to do his first ever guitar lesson, which I have an idea of what I want to do for that. I've taken on board some advice from Steve Cassidy, so thanks for that, Steve. And we shall see how that goes and whether it will be Matt's first and last ever lesson. But anyway, lots to come. So yeah, hope you all have a really, really good week, and see you as usual in the live chat on Tuesday. Good night, everyone. See you later.